Hi everyone, welcome to Dean's Practical Budget Hobbies. I really enjoy Gun Maverick, and I think it would be interesting to do a build of Maverick's FA-18 Super Hornet from the movie. Maybe some of you are also fans of the movie who would like to build this model, but lack model building experience and tools. Don't worry, in these videos I'll show it is possible to build a nice version of this model with $50 in tools and with no airbrush or other fancy equipment. We'll use spray paint from Walmart and easy and basic techniques. Much of the information online and on YouTube seems to imply that you need lots of expensive equipment and high-level techniques if you want to build a decent model. Of course, building the highest quality models does require a huge investment in equipment and skill development. You can do a quick Google search and find lots of truly mind-blowing models out there. But I personally don't have the time, skill, or dedication to get to that level. To be honest, the process of getting there seems so tedious and labor-intensive that it just wouldn't be fun for me. All I want is a model that looks pretty good without being too difficult. I also need to save money, time, and effort for my other hobbies, like this Camaro. So let's get into the basic tools I'll be using for this build. I'm not saying these are good enough for serious model building, but I hope to show that you can at least get started in model building using tools and materials you already have at home, or are easily available from Walmart, Michael's, or the dollar store. As your skills and your interests grow, you can buy more advanced tools. There are many excellent suppliers like Micromart who sell top-end products for the most demanding experts. The first tool is these diagonal cutters, which are very useful for cutting parts from the sprue trees, trimming flash, etc. I got these from CVS for less than $10. The price can range from $5 at Walmart to over $20 at Micromart. For general cutting, I'll use this $1.99 folding knife I got from Dollar Tree. The tip looks kind of like an X-Acto blade, and I think it'll work pretty well. For general filing and shaping, I'm going to be using these emery boards. I found this in my wife's drawer, and it's a rougher grade useful for heavier removal. I bought this finer grade from Dollar Tree, and it should be useful for final shaping and smoothing. Tamiya extra thin cement is probably the most popular glue for serious modelers, and for good reason. This is an excellent all-purpose plastic cement, and it's not too expensive. It costs around $10 including shipping for a 40 milliliter bottle. By the way, a great hack is to get the Tamiya airbrush cleaner, which is the same product but costs around $15 for 250 milliliters. For me, this is probably a 10-year supply. But for this build, I'm going to use this super glue I got from Walmart for $4, just to reinforce the idea that you don't need specialized model stuff to get started. It has this precision applicator that I've never used before, so we'll see how it works out. Super glue has some advantages that I like for model building. The Tamiya is very slow to set. I have to press and hold the parts together with my fingers for a few minutes, or find a way to clamp or tape the parts together to hold them while the glue dries. On the other hand, the super glue sets and holds within 15 to 30 seconds. For best results, the Tamiya should be used in joints with a very close fit. The Tamiya is hard to get a good bond when there are gaps, while super glue has some gap-filling properties. One disadvantage of super glue is, if you get some on your fingers and touch your model, it will instantly create a mark or blemish that is extremely difficult to remove. Another disadvantage of super glue is if the glue sets while the parts are out of alignment, it is very difficult to repair. So you have to be very careful about maintaining the correct part alignment while the glue is setting. When it comes to paint, there is an enormous variety of paints developed specially for plastic models, and they are excellent. I have a few, but I'm not going to use them for this build. For small parts, I'm going to use these acrylics I got from Michael's. In the plastic model hobby, these are known as craft acrylics, and the general impression I get is these are considered inferior for serious model building. But I have found these to be very useful for many purposes. I got this water-based acrylic from Michael's, and I use this for washes to bring out panel lines, rivets, and other recessed details. The airbrush is a very important tool for model building. It is essential for painting camouflage patterns, post-shading panel lines, and exhaust and gunpowder stains. I use a Patriot 105, which I highly recommend if you decide to get serious about model building. but the Top Gun FA-18 uses a simple paint scheme. So I will be using these rattle can spray paints I got from Walmart for $6 each. I'm not saying that you don't need an airbrush, but I believe you can often use ingenuity, flexibility, and creativity to overcome a lack of equipment, especially in beginning model building situations. Model paint manufacturers and advanced model builders put serious effort to ensure complete accuracy and authenticity of the colors they make and use. For this build, these rattle cans I saw in Walmart were not the correct colors called out in the instructions. However, I think these are close enough, and unless the finished model is side by side with the real thing, most people, including myself, probably won't notice the difference. For the black portions of the exterior, I will use plain black primers since I already have a can handy. I will get into more detail on surface prep, color selection, painting, and weathering in a later video. For my work surface, I'm using a $1 poster board from Walmart. You can get special 24x18 cutting mats for around $26 from Amazon, and these are very good. But for me, the $1 poster board is good enough, and each one will last for around 4 builds. I use the money I saved to get the rotating turntable for the opening shot of the finished FA-18. I expect to get a lot of use from that turntable, so the trade-off is definitely worth it for me. So that's it for the basic equipment. The total cost, including the spray paints, is less than $50. In the next video, I'll go through the assembly and gluing of the FA-18. Until then, have a great week.